What's up everybody, my name is Ika. Today we're taking a look at a game that just entered into early access on Steam. Now this game is kind of a mix of an RTS and a city builder with a ton of emphasis on strategy, and it's taken quite a few cues from the Civilization franchise. And if it wasn't obvious from the title of this video, this game is called Northgard. Now, a little quick biography and housekeeping. This game is by Shiro Games. In retail, it is up for $19.99 on Steam. I will put a link to the Steam page below, as well as a link to Shiro Games and their website as well. Now, let's get into the game. So if the name, the loading screens, and the splash art were not enough of an indicator, this game is heavily based on Norse mythology, and you control yourself a clan of Vikings. Now, during game setup, you currently get a choice of 4 different types of clans that you can control. These clans are all based off of a mythological god in Norse lore, and they all have special abilities and start with kind of different things. You have the traditional Fenrir, who is going to be more of an attack-based god and attack-based clan, and then you have clans who are going to be focused on exploration and trading and other things besides combat. Now, your choice here is actually important, as there are multiple ways to win this game. We'll cover at least a few of them through this video. However, while any clan can win any way, you will find that the special abilities for each clan, or the special starting way for each clan, is going to severely influence which way would be easier for you to win. Now, after selecting your clan, giving your leader a name, and picking a color for your town, it's going to bring you into the game. One of the things that you'll notice is this game is a little more washed out. The palette colors are a little bit more understated. It's very calming. I like the graphics style. It's not incredibly in your face, it's not incredibly polygon heavy, but it works very well. It looks very good. Now, you start with a handful of villagers. These villagers can be assigned to different jobs. Things like being a warrior, being an axe thrower, being a lumberjack, being a brewer, or being a merchant. You can assign them to a bunch of different things as you build different buildings. You use resources much in the same way. This is going to be very reminiscent of Civilization. You have food and wood and coin. You use those resources to purchase buildings. The buildings then unlock new jobs for your civilians. Now, you'll also notice that one of your resources that you're keeping track of is happiness. Happiness affects how fast, or if you even at all, get new civilians into your civilization. If you have a high positive happiness, civilians will join you more rapidly. If you have a negative happiness, they won't join you at all. Your first few minutes in this game will be scrambling to get wood and food set up, and this is accomplished by either leaving your civilians, as somebody who is not assigned a job will forage for food, or assigning them to be woodcutters who will go out and cut wood. You must also build houses so that you can expand the number of civilians that you are allowed to have. But the first couple minutes are really established into getting the very basics of survival down. Now, there are seasons in this game. It goes from summer to fall to winter to spring, and that's important in that you burn more wood and you eat more food during the winter, as well as you don't actually produce as much food during the winter as well. So stocking up on resources during the summer months is incredibly important, or you will find yourself with a severe resource shortage come snowfall. Now, once you've established a little bit of food and a little bit of wood, you will start to scout using scouts. Scouts look at territory that is adjacent to your own. Now, all of the areas in this game are broken into small zones. You scout those, you take those zone at a time. This is not like a true RTS like you would think StarCraft or Warcraft or Total Annihilation, where there's more of a freedom of where you can build. Zones are quite well limited into how many buildings you can build in a zone and how many things you can do in a zone, and then you conquer zones around it. A lot like tiles in Civilization. Now, if it sounds like I'm bringing up a Civ a lot, it's because I am, and that's because this game really does take a lot from that game. Now, once you've scouted a couple of territories, you can start to claim those zones by sending warriors or paying food. Now, the only reason that you would send warriors is if those zones are defended. If they are defended, you cannot claim them. You claim them by spending food, or, depending on your clan, you can also spend gold. Once you've claimed them, you can then start to build and harvest the resources that are in each of those areas. In this way, it's actually very important to watch which resources are available in each area and make sure that you exploit each area for those resources. If an area has stone or iron, you're going to want to build a mine. If it has deer, you're going to want to build hunters. Now, this is around where your strategy is going to kick in. There are a handful of victory conditions. There are 4, actually. There is Domination, Fame, Trade, and Wisdom. Each one has different requirements. Domination only requires that you destroy all of the other players' town halls. Fame requires that you gain territory and a resource called Fame, which can be acquired in a couple of different ways. Trade requires that you collect money, and Wisdom requires that you collect blessings from the gods, which you get with lore masters. Now, there is a 5th way of doing a victory condition that is based on a map. Sometimes it's things like you can find the gates of Helheim, and if you control them for a full year, you will then claim victory over the map. Now, even if you're not going for a lore-based victory, it is still important to pay attention to lore, as it gives your town a little bit of an edge by giving it a couple of benefits. Things like sharper weapons to do more damage, or more wood being cut down, or being able to harvest more resources out of a mine. There's a bunch of different things, and each of those things changes based on what clan you select. Now, there are a handful of standard lore bonuses, but there are a handful that also change based on clan. Now, there are 4 keystone lore changes that kind of really add some extra bonuses, things like not eating as much during the winter, or just gaining a flat 3 happiness. It's when you research all 4 of these keystone blessings that are at the bottom that you gain a lore victory. Now, there are neutral factions that you will encounter as you're going. The only one that I've encountered so far are giants. When you encounter the giants, you can trade food with them to eventually gain their trust, and they will fight for you. Now, depending on which victory condition that you've picked, your gameplay will be a little bit different, whether you build an army or a merchant fleet or even just exploration. Your gameplay is going to be different, which I actually really like, as it's going to allow you to play the game multiple times, going for different victory scenarios each time, which is going to influence the way that you build your town. Completing the game with a victory presents you with I actually really enjoy screen that gives you a play-by-play of the game as it unfolds from every player's point of view. So it allows you to kind of show exactly how the enemy has explored and what they have done and who has taken territory or lost territory as the game moves throughout. Now, the most recent patch has added multiplayer, so you can go and slug it out head-to-head with your friends. And we're expecting future patches to add a couple more features and new building models and things like that before the game is in release. Now, if you like this quick look at Northgard, hit that subscribe button below, hit the like button if you've liked the video, or drop me a comment to let me know if you've picked up this game, what you think of it, or if you're planning on picking it up. I plan on doing a Let's Play for this game and at least going through one full game. So hit that notification icon on top of subscribing to let you know when that gets uploaded. Thanks, and I hope to see you next video.